Okay, so before this video starts, I must bring up that for anyone who wants in on this series, you must listen closely to the instructions in this video. Otherwise, you might miss out. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so for some quick context, I've actually gone back to the swing of things when it comes to doing stop motion. But honestly, with the series I've been working on, I've honestly gotten tired of it. I'm still going to try and finish them, because at this point I'm tired of just not finishing any of the series I do. But before I get to that, I thought, what if I try something that has all of you guys involved? Now, what I mean by that is TASCA. Now, what does that stand for, you may ask? Well, it stands for the Trackstar American Stock Car Association. Yes, it's another Trackstar-like thing. I just like putting Trackstar on anything. As TASCA was put together, they decided to work on one series in particular, something called the TASCA Super Series. A stop motion series which anyone can sign up for. Except, well, a couple rules. Actually, you know what? We'll get to the rules in a minute. I sectioned it off this time. Might as well mention how this series is going to go. So, for the most part, TASCA Super Series is going to have 10 races. It's just going to be full-on points, no playoffs. You know, so for now, something nice and simple. But it will range from short tracks to road courses, and maybe some crazy eights. I don't know. The track configurations still being figured out. Schedule still being figured out, but it is what it is. But hopefully you guys are interested. And the car choice, you may ask? Well, oh boy, it's obviously going to be a papercraft model that I've come up with, but not just anyone. Oh no, it's going to be the NASCAR Canada Series model, which I actually just whipped up recently. And essentially, this is what the car looks like. Alright, so now let's get to the names. Now, originally I thought of, 2 entries per person and whatnot, but for now, we're just gonna stick with 1 entry per person. And as for the name, it's gotta be first and last name. Just keep things simpler as I go through the names, as I go through the season. Also, when you come up with a name, it's got to be original. No, fictional characters, not like characters from certain media of some kind, like cartoon characters, or actual drivers too. I'm not gonna have actual drivers, or it's not gonna be allowed entry according to the TASCA rulebook. Oh yeah, and another rule about the name is that please try and keep it appropriate. Alright, now that we got the names out of the way, let's go straight into characterization. Oh yeah, characterization. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, to put it simply, I want to add some depth to these drivers. You're not just signing them up, you're giving them some character, some lore behind it, a bit of backstory, because, their name, hometown, stuff like that. And I'll be sketching out what the driver looks like, because I don't know, I guess I'm just in the mood to draw. Now, despite what I said just before about no real drivers or, cartoon characters for names, if you want them to look like certain characters or people of some kind, or a mix of both, then, you gotta tell me when you sign up, Oh, alright, now let's get to the final piece of this puzzle, the car itself. Now, essentially, the manufacturers basically keep it simple. It's a Chevy Camaro, Ford Mustang / Fusion. If you pick a Ford, you have options between Mustang and Fusion. Then we got Toyota Supra and the Dodge Challenger. So yeah, 4 cars choose from. Well, 5 if you count the Mustang and Fusion as separate, but anyways. And you can choose sponsor, though I choose wisely on what you want the primary to be, because I'm still sort of thinking about whether or not I'm gonna have multiple paint schemes for each driver. And on one final note in regards to the paint scheme, if you want the paint scheme to look like, a certain way, or look like a certain car, a certain paint scheme of some sort, then, you gotta also tell me down below. Though a lot of you guys who signed up for my series before probably already knew that, but, just a reminder. So, I think that's everything. Due date is a couple weeks or so, not really clear, but I want to do this as soon as possible. Yeah, that's about it.